Salakia video had cut out on me. This is just pretty much going to be part two. I'm just part to it. But you see what happened with Nick Cannon? You know, they pretty much shut down his Cannon class. They also took down his Today Show. So he pretty much had to humiliate himself to apologize to these small hats. You know, you see what happened with the same thing with Ice Cube. You know, they gave him backlash. You know, for claiming himself to be a Jew. So these are the times that we live in, but it's clear as day that this is something that has always happened, right? Let me read it again. Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. It says, "Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or an ancient fast or to profess himself at all to be a Jew." So here it is. If you confess yourself to be a Jew, guess what? They're going to kill your account. They're going to touch your money. They're going to tell you, you better be a good boy. You know, you better be a good boy. This is why, you know, we don't seek to climb up in this society, you know, and you don't have to be an entertainer or a pro player in whatever sport it may be to receive some kind of money, you know. It's a thing of getting quiet money. It's okay to get quiet money, you know, to where, you know, you can still make your money, you can make ends meet, and you know, not have these devils, you know, controlling you in that fashion. Because guess what? The higher you climb in this hierarchy, the system, you know, the more these devils are able to control you. You know, tell you what to do, tell you what to say, tell you what not to say, you know, and things of that nature. This is why, you know, the Lord is only with the prophets coming out speaking His word. You know, let's get the book of Psalm. Salah. Let's get the book of Psalm, chapter 95, 94, and 16. 94 and 16 Psalm. It says, "Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?" The elect, you know, the prophets, you know, beginning with the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. That's who's going to rise up against the evildoers. Who are the evildoers? These Edomites, you know. And that's one thing about these devils that in which they fail to realize, you know, the more, you know, you push this narrative as far as canceling people for just saying that they're Jews, the more it's going to wake the people up. You know, I'm going to tap into some scriptures on that. It says, "Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?" And part of that standing up is to expose who you devils are and to re-educate our people on who they are, as far as being Israelites, as far as being God's chosen people, the descendants of Jacob. Here it is, the so-called white man, he's the descendant of Esau. We of the 12 tribes of Jacob, 12 tribes of Israel, you know, we are descendants of Jacob, you know, and the covenant went from Abraham, Isaac unto Jacob. So we received the birthright and we also received the blessing, you know, and these devils are living in their particular blessing at this particular moment. But what? We're approaching a time to where these devils are going to lose it all. You know, they're going to lose their position, they're going to lose their power, and they're going to go into slavery for 1,000 years, then burned off to the face of the earth. You know, these are all counts in which they're doing right now. These are all counts to which the Heavenly Father is going to acclimate to their judgment. Right? It says, accumulate, sorry, to their judgment. It says, unless the Lord Yahweh had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence. You know, so we can't fear what man can do unto us. You know, it's about speaking the truth, you know, until that appointed time, you know, and the Lord has to be with us in order for us to speak the truth. You know, we can't have no fear in our bone against these devils, because if you do have fear, then you're going to shut up. Then you're not going to speak. You're going to be afraid to go out there on the highways and byways. Then you're going to be hiding your talent in the napkin. And we already know what the Lord's going to do. You know, the scriptures tell us, "Woe unto me if I preach not the gospel." You know, and the Lord told us to fear him instead of man. You know, it says, verse 18, "When I said my foot slippeth, thy mercy, O Yahweh, held me up." and Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to hold us up, at all times, at all costs. It's about having faith, like the scriptures say. The angels of the Lord encamp round about them that fear him. So it's about fearing the Lord. So once you fear the Lord, you're not going to be afraid of what man can do unto you. In fact, let me get that. I believe it's what, Matthew 10 and 28. Matthew 10 and 28. It says, "And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." And this is Yahweh Shai speaking. Because man, of course, he's going to attempt to manipulate you and put fear tactics upon you so you can do what he wants you to do, But it's about what Yahweh Bashem Yahushua want us to do. And that's contrary to what these Edomites, these elites want us to do. Who are you going to choose? This devil wants you to take a chip. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua wants you to denounce the chip. What are you going to do? So we're coming to a point to where decisions are going to have to be made. The line is drawn in the sand. What are you going to do? Even when it comes to these entertainers, I believe this is all a narrative, a ploy, or whatever the case may be. I feel like certain entertainers and celebrities are selected to push a narrative, but that's the Heavenly Father's work. What's that? I believe it's Job 12 and 16. Let me see. That's the Heavenly Father's great work. It's Job 12 and 16. It says, "With him is wisdom, and with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his." So the Lord controls both sides. The Lord controls the person who's doing deceiving, and he controls the person who's being deceived. So you don't think that this devil wants to carry on that same attribute? He understands that the Heavenly Father controls both sides. So Esau has a God complex. He thinks he's the Most High. So he wants to play both sides of that particular narrative so he can attempt to control it. So he can see who's who and what's what. Sometimes you got to stir up waters to catch fish. This is a clear-cut example of this devil stirring up waters, attempting to catch fish, to see who he should put on the red list, the blue list, and the yellow list. And everybody got an opinion on social media. So everybody who's sharing content, liking content, and everything like that, they're going upon those lists, man. Everything is in the database. Everything is in the database. Hell, you watch a certain video, up, blue list. Oh, this person don't know nothing, yellow list. He's not a threat. This is what's happening. And the way we see it, they're afflicting us. They're afflicting the Israelites, right? But if you had some understanding when it comes to the scriptures, you would know not to do that, because all it's going to do is wake up more people, and it's going to bring down your kingdom that much faster. Right? This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 12. In fact, let me start at 8. Well, let me start at 7. It says, "And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, so get them up out of the land." And the way these devils attempt to do that now is by choosing and selecting certain Israelites, the so-called smart, intelligent ones. They give them a lump sum of money, and they tell them what they should say, what they should not say, what they should promote, and what they can't promote, right? And just to use that whole divide and conquer tactic. Here it is all of these Israelites with money, yet there's nothing There's no fund put together to help, the poor of our people, so to speak. You know, when it comes to Israel, Israel had a welfare system. When it came to the grape gatherers, you gather grapes, and then you'll leave some for the less fortunate, so to speak. You know, with Jake having all of this money, something could easily be created, but they're told what to do with their money, and they're told what not to do with their money. You know, what's being promoted and highlighted amongst the celebrities and the entertainers of our people. They buy cars, clothes, mansions, and they spend it on women. They don't get there's no and they don't even have financial literacy themselves. They can't tell you what stock to invest in. They can't tell you what type of real estate to buy, to multiply the money and to pass down the generational wealth. But the ones who've been in the game for a while, they may have that information, but guess what? They're not going to teach it. You know why? Because they're being controlled by Edom. It says, verse 11, it says, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. That's right. So that's what happened. In Egypt, they set up taskmasters over the Israelites to afflict them furthermore. It says, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel, the sons of Israel. Right? So that's the same thing that's happening now. When you afflict, the prophets, the more we multiply and grow, because the Lord deals with a controversy. Controversy sells. So the Lord knows he got to stir up the pot, to seal his elect. It is what it is. Esau's attempting to take upon that godlike nature, but it's going to backfire. And that's what he don't understand. It's going to backfire. It says, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel, the sons of Israel. These are the times that we're in. These are the times that we're in. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we're going to keep exposing you devils. Because this is that season. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Esau is that son of perdition. He's that man of sin being revealed. But, he frameth mischief by a law. So what he attempts to do is create these laws to where if you say certain thing, you're labeled an anti-Shemite. You're anti-Shemitic. If you say a particular buzzword. Come on. But what we had to fall away as a nation first. That's the falling away. We had to forget who we are as a people. Like when we read real quick, let me read Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. It reads, it says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. So when we discontinued from our heritage, so when we no longer knew who we were as a people, guess who came in and claimed to be us? Identity theft. Edom. Because Esau knows that he's the only nation of people that received no mercy from the Heavenly Father. It says, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. So this is what makes it the worst captivity. So if we don't know who we are as a people, how are we going to even call on the name of the Lord in its essence, in the Hebrew? Miracles do happen, man. Miracles do happen. And that's why, the book of Obadiah, once them devils went into, those space stations and outer space and all that, that's when the Lord started to bring them down. Starting with Elder Albert Bivens. Right? It says, verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Right? And that's what this devil wants to do, have complete, utter control. But it's not going to be successful. It says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. We in that time. But he's trying to control the narrative. It's not going to work. It's just going to work. It's just going to wake more people up. It's just going to wake more people up. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So it's not a mystery no more to who the Edomites are. He's trying to keep it a mystery, but it's going to be to no avail. Truth is out. Everybody knows. You're exposed. You Edomites are exposed. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So even though you have your narrative, guess what? Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has his narrative, and he's using us. The scriptures tell us, for he had hewed them down by the mouth of the prophets. Scriptures also say, for I'll make their the words fire. Let me see. I believe it was that in Jeremiah. People would. I believe it's in Jeremiah. Yeah, Jeremiah 5:14. It says, wherefore thus saith the Lord power of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. And that's what's happening. It's devouring them. It's killing them softly. This word is killing these people softly, these Edomites. They burning up every time we claim ourselves to be a Jew. That's why when we read, they attempt torture upon us in that day. Let's see if his words be true. Let's see if his power delivers him. It's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, by way of the holy angels, right? It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. So that pretty much brings a conclusion, to this lesson. Here it is, certain celebrities coming out with the truth, a little portion of the truth, and they're being labeled anti-Shemites and getting chastised for it. But it's just history repeating itself, and that just proves that these are the same spirits coming back. These are the same spirits coming back. And the day of reckoning is at hand, and we almost home. Salvation is near when we believe. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the elect. With that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim HaKakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.